The DNC is nothing more than controlled opposition at this point. And we need to be honest about that. Because what do you mean that there was a Senate intelligence report that came out 3 weeks ago that showed that it's very likely that all of our social security numbers already are compromised? I got this information from Jessica Craven, who's one of my favorite creators across all platforms. But why am I hearing this from her? This report is 45 pages long, and it depicts basically a post-apocalyptic dystopian society in which Doge went into all of these government buildings. They not only went in there, but they closed off the rooms, they covered them with plastic and tape, and then used armed guards to keep the Senate oversight committees out of whatever the heck it was that they were doing. They had access to this program that's called Numident, which is like numerary identification, which is basically where we keep all of our social security information. They took that from government servers and put them in some cloud that has absolutely no oversight or guaranteed security whatsoever. Yeah, one of the people who's in charge of this is the one that we've heard of a bunch of times, this 19-year-old boy who goes by the name of Big Balls. He has access to every single name, social security number, and work history of every single American in this country, and he can send it to whoever the heck he wants to. He was fired from his last job because he was giving away classified information to other companies, and now he has access to all of our information, and they're not even being let in. These people are going through and just looting our entire system. And this report says that there is a 30 to 65% chance of a catastrophic event as a result. The recommendations from this report say that they should reissue everybody's social security numbers. We should just nullify our entire system, basically, because we are so compromised. And I remember talking about this a couple of months ago. I was like, the fact that that whistleblower came out and said that there was information that was leaving our system and going to an IP address that serves the cold country is a huge deal, because they will have access to everything that makes our country go. All the trains, all the plane signals, everything. We are sitting ducks. And why am I hearing about this from somebody on TikTok? I'm happy that she is, but why aren't you the one saying this? Why are you not out front ringing the alarm about how serious this really is? Oh, it's because you're controlled opposition. Because you're part of it. That is the only reasonable explanation. You're just as bad as they are. Because yesterday, Special Prosecutor Jack Smith decided to break his silence, and he's coming out and talking about all the stuff that he had on the Joker prior to this contest, right? And he's like, we had everything that we needed to put him away, and he basically got to skirt prison because he was able to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish in this contest, right? Well, if you knew that that was the case, why the heck wouldn't you double check? You acknowledge that those were the stakes for him, that he was either going to Casablanca or prison, and you guys decided to let this person who you had mountains of evidence of criminal behavior on just slide through, skate free, not even one single recheck. Why? Why did you let this happen? You had 4 years to keep him from the place that he's in right now. And knowing what you know, you absolutely could have predicted that this is exactly what was going to happen anyways, and you let it happen. Why? You wouldn't do that to me. I would go to jail if I didn't pay a speeding ticket and then got pulled over again. There are people sitting in C camps who did nothing other than try to provide for their family. And we have somebody who has coordinated a coup against this country, sitting back in the Casablanca because all of you guys sat down and did nothing about it. You're controlled opposition. You don't want anything to get better, and you can't convince me otherwise. Even the people that we like. I saw Governor Newsom on a podcast clip this morning, and he was asked about that pack from that iCountry, right? And you should see the way he looked. His response was exactly the same as the Joker's response. Oh, wow, I haven't heard that name in a really long time. That's the exact same way that the Joker responded when he was asked about GMAX. Yeah, Governor Newsom had the same response about APAC. Like, look at this body language. I just find it interesting. I just find it interesting. What? This is what he did when he was asked about the involvement of that country that you all know that I'm talking about in the Middle East. And this should be a poster somewhere. This is the DNC's mascot right here. Because, yeah, they'll talk to you about healthcare. They will have some little stingy, well-tested statements that come with every flag that you could possibly imagine afterwards. But at the end of the day, when you ask them real questions about the genuine harm that's happening in their world, this is all we get. And we have to be honest about that. Did you know that they're not supporting Graham Plattner? The person who's running for Senate, the oyster fisherman who has been a rising star in his race, he has already accomplished national fame because of his common sense policies, the way that he's able to appeal to a massive swath of people, and the fact that he wants to get corruption out of politics. Yeah, apparently there's another Team Blue person who's running against him, and the DNC is supporting them and not him, despite the fact that that guy is the perfect prototype for unity in this country. But you know that that's not what they want either. They don't want genuine unity. They don't want things to get better for the rest of us. And they just want to toe this line where it seems like there's two sides, but actually it's not. They are nothing more than controlled opposition. A couple of my friends are on the DNC Signal chat, and they've come out and said that one of the worst things you can talk about in this chat is any questions about the contest, and that they don't want to hear it. It's not legit. They don't even want to hear a single word about it, and that's a bad thing to say. Yeah, I bet it is. Because as soon as you actually start digging into what happened, you also have to recognize the fact that the DNC rolled over. They knew what happened, and they decided not to just as much as the Team Reds did, because they thought that things were going to get so bad that they would be able to make a mountain of money off of all of this chaos. And then who knows whose backs would be scratched when they came back in and could use all of that power to elicit favors for themselves. Yeah, we're in a really rough spot. So maybe the Purple Revolution is DOA, but I think that the ants versus grasshoppers revolution still has a place for us. Look at the town halls in red places all across the country. Everybody is mad and everybody needs to get together, and we have to break through this system completely, not just break away from him. And it's going to take somebody. It might not be those two people who started the Purple Revolution. It's going to have to be somebody else. But yeah, we have to be honest where we are if we're going to figure out where we're going.